are you from? Sounds like a simple question, right? But if you're anything like me, you'll pause. Not because you don't know, but because where do you even begin to explain? My parents are from one country. I was raised in another, went to school in a different one, and got home in a fourth. And the truth is, I don't fully belong anywhere. But weirdly enough, I feel like I belong everywhere. And that's what it's like, being a third culture kid, or short, TCK. We're the kids that grow up in the in-between, that speak 3 languages, but mix them all up in one sentence. We celebrate Thanksgiving in May, say ciao and merci in one sentence, and instinctively take off our shoes when entering any house. And that's because we've learned to adapt. Growing up like this, it can be confusing. And at some point, you're gonna ask yourself, where do I actually belong? When I was younger, I hated not having a clear answer to that question. I always wanted to be able to say, I am from here, full stop. Instead, I always had to come up with long, complicated explanations every single time. It felt like I was switching masks, code switching between cultures, trying to fit in, trying to belong. And honestly, it sometimes made me feel like I was less, like I didn't have a full identity, like I was missing something. But here's what I've realized. That in-between space, it's not empty, it's powerful. Because when you grow up in between cultures, you become a bridge. You learn to read the room fast, and that different doesn't mean wrong, it just means unfamiliar. During my exchange year at Full Soleil, a boarding school in the Swiss Alps, I came across this experience in the canteen. A new student walked in, alone. He held his tray in his hands, scanning the room, looking for a place to sit. But only a few people looked up. Not because they were mean or the kid did anything wrong, but because nobody really saw them. And that's what being a third culture kid teaches you. To notice the quiet moments, to reach across differences, and to lead with empathy. We live in a world that feels more divided than ever. People shouting over each other, and no one's really listening. And often, we reward the loudest voices instead of the wisest ones. But what if we looked at leadership differently? What if it wasn't about knowing all the answers, but about knowing how to hold enough space for multiple perspectives? Third culture kids have spent their whole lives doing exactly that. We know how to navigate complexity. We've grown up learning to find connection with unexpected places. And often, this also shows up in the lives of people you probably already know. For example, Barack Obama. He grew up between Hawaii and Indonesia to a Kenyan father. This also connects directly to DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity isn't just about numbers, it's about perspective. Equity means we notice who gets left behind, and inclusion isn't just about inviting people to sit at the table. It's about making sure everybody at the table feels like they belong. Let me come back to the question that I asked in the beginning. Where are you from? But what if we asked instead, where do you feel at home? That question feels bigger, kinder, and more honest. Because it's not about where you started, it's about where you're seen. And that makes all the difference. So, if you're a third culture kid, or anybody that's grown up from the in-between, let me tell you something important. You don't have to shrink to fit into this one perfect little box. Your in-betweenness, it's a strength. Because the future of leadership, real leadership, isn't loud. It's listening, it's bridging, and it's belonging. And I believe that the most powerful change makers don't all just come from one place. They'll come from between them. Like me, like maybe you. Thank you.